Would you rather be given more money to then spend on your child from your ex-partner, or more free time?
More free time. I'd make more money.
Oh,
He'd get-
Come on.
that is the killer answer. That is
Boss B.
amazing.
That's the truth.
I'd like the money.
Hello and welcome to Unfiltered. This is the podcast that gives you the unfiltered truth about parenting. And in today's episode, we are joined by Priscilla, by Peach, by Sam. I'm Caroline, and we're talking about child maintenance. So obviously it's calculated, they look at income, they look at your outgoings, they figure out what it is that a person should pay for child maintenance. Do you think it's enough? How much do you think partners should be paying? Where do we sit on
depends
this?
on the custody agreement. So if you split custody completely down the middle, then, you're sharing it completely. If it's like a weekend, I wish I had a free whole weekend, to be honest, then you pay more.
You just say you wish you had a free
'cause
weekend.
every other weekend, I think the dads are meant to have your child every other weekend for the whole weekend. Doesn't happen for me. My child's dad gets her from school at 4 on a Friday and then drops her home at 8:50 in the morning. And I don't even it's not even 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it's a nightmare.
Like breakfast club is £7.50.
Yeah.
After school club is £10 per day.
Oh, yeah.
We've already gone £20 a day. That's just for clubs.
And her classes, her classes are £100 a month for gymnastics, and after school club when she wants to go, that's £15 a week.
Exactly.
I just pay for it. I just can't bother. Anyone who doesn't want to actually contribute to your child, you've no value.
Yeah.
Go away.
Waste cadet.
Waste cadet.
I find like the concept of how little can I get away with spending,
Yeah.
it blows my mind.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
In my mind, it would be a sit down. Like, let's just say my husband and I split, and for whatever reason, my husband had the kids more than I did. I would be going, okay, well, how much can I afford to give? Not how much
Yes.
can I claw
That's a mentality
back?
thing. That's a mentality
For me, it's always whatever life my child experienced or quality of life my child experienced while we were together, I would want that same level maintained. If me and my wife did split up, I would want that. And for me, I'd cut my cloth accordingly because they're a representation of me.
Yeah.
And the way that I was always brought up is my mum and dad worked like 2 jobs, and as far as they were concerned, they would rather go without as long as we were with, because we were a representation of them. There's no way that I'm giving the bare minimum to my child and then they are not getting the best version of their mother because their mother is stressed about how they're going to put food on the plate or heat the house or keep the lights on. That for me doesn't make any sense because they're never going to get the best version of their primary carer, but then they get the best version of me, or because I'm doing everything out of spite for my former other half.
I wish everyone thought like you.
So does that mean then that let's say you and your wife split? If you found out that your wife was spending some of the child maintenance money on having a spa day or whatever, what would your sort of reaction be?
As long as my child doesn't need or want for anything, then 100%, because ultimately that's going to make my ex-partner be the best mother that she can be at that particular point in time, as opposed to at her end's tether, feeling like there is no break apart from when I have my court mandated or agreed or agreed time. That isn't beneficial. It's not, for me, it's not just about the amount of money that's given over. It's also what comes with that in terms of just the psychological safety of my former partner, because their psychological safety and their well-being and their mental health has a direct impact on the quality of care that they give to the child.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm still responsible for that
Yeah.
because I chose to lay with this person
Exactly.
and I chose to have a child with this person.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
responsibility doesn't
Fade
stop
away.
because we're no longer together, because my child still has my surname. They still share half of my DNA.
Yeah.
Like they have to be a better representation of what I am and what I could have been, and in that is making sure that the environment that they're in, and as much as I can support in that environment, is the best germination ground for their seed to ultimately grow.
And that's a real man's perspective.
Exactly.
Like a real man will, if you're not going to be a husband, okay,
At least be
but that does not mean that you're not going to now be a father.
Yeah.
And a lot of these men, I've got a lot of friends who've experienced it. They leave and they go, oh, well, you're not going to be with me. Oh, I'm not going to give you this money. Going to take the car away. I'm going to watch you struggle.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, you're all going to hell if you're like that. And it's coercive control, which is disgusting. And that's what leads to a lot of women getting mental illness. Look at the bigger picture and be a real man like Sam.
100%.
I think it's really interesting, like the perspective of, do you know what? Like, I made this decision to lay with you. I made this decision we were going to have a kid, and that is the lifelong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the lifelong
Yeah.
outcome. I can understand though why perhaps some partners might think, well, hang on a minute, why are you spending your money on this and why are you not buying the other? Do you think an ex should be able to have any say in where the money gets spent at all?
Sometimes though, there's the minority though. There are women that are just careless and that don't give a shit about their children and do spend all their money on themselves, and they're not buying those after school clubs. They're not doing those extracurricular things for their kids. And
I think only if there's concerns about it. Do you know, if like they looked scruffy or the kids were saying I've not ate and this and that the other, then okay, question me. If your kid looks immaculate and is happy and is not going without, unless you split the custody, do not question me.
Yeah.
Because she's warmed, she's fed,
true.
she's happy. Don't question. Unless you're concerned, then yes,
Yeah,
speak
I
up.
agree with
Then, but if not, shut your mouth.
you know, I think as well is if you're going to court to deal with something, then whatever you've been instructed to pay can't be enough. Because if you were dealing with your situation properly, there's no way your partner will drag you to court. Why did they do that?
Yeah,
because
it's
you
a nightmare.
weren't doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So whatever the question was, you know, is it enough? Answer is no.
And I think
Do more.
if there are particular things that you want your child to be a part of, if it's in my time, I would pay for it. If
Yeah.
it's in the primary carer's time and I want them to partake in that, then I've got to find the extra money. I'm not mandating or demanding that my child do this extracurricular activity, but I want you to make it work out of what I currently give you. It needs to be over and above, because that money I already give you you've already allotted for where that ultimately goes and how you're carving that up. So anything additional needs to be balanced. I do have friends of mine who have kind of gone through that journey, and they started off with a real kind of, how dare you break up with me and I'm going to make you pay, etc. And they've gone through that kind of self-reflection and introspection to go, I wasn't doing that for the benefit of my child. I was doing that because I was just hurt.
Yeah.
And that person that hurt me, I was focusing all of my energy there, but without realizing that it's like a stone being dropped into a pond. What you drop into your ex-partner ripples out, and the person that's going to be the first ripple effect that it crashes into is going to be your child.
I think it can be really hard though. Like it's quite idealistic to, and we all hope that if we were in that situation, we would be able to be grown, you know, and to be able to
And
think
amicable.
and have this situation where we can say, do you know what, I won't do. This is going to hurt my child, and this is not. But I think, in reality, most of us haven't seen that in our lives, like mirrored, and that's a really hard
It's horrible
position to be in, and a hard thing to achieve, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's everyone no matter who you are, male, female, or however you prescribe, we all have an ego, and nobody likes their ego being dented or bruised. But you've also got to realize that your ego can also be your own worst enemy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if it gets in your own way, what that ripple effect can be breaks everything. And effectively, your ex-partner could say you're an absolute waste man, you're a dirtbag, you're useless, you're pathetic. Let your ego get in the way, and it becomes a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
If your baby dad don't hate you, you're pussy trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. All my girls' baby dads hate them because they're all doing well.
But
Sad for them.
But
Wow.
the thing is, you can look for me. There's always a level of respect, irrespective. Like, I may not get on with you, I may not even want to talk to you, but I've got to respect the fact that you are ultimately looking after my child.
You're thinking from a civilized
Yeah.
point of view.
Of course.
And
Not everyone's civilized.
Yeah, not everyone is civilized, and more people are not.
Yeah.
And from experience and my friends, it's never gone that way. I wish more people was like you,
Yeah.
but it's not. But the girls, they work, their mums, their dads, I'll fix my daughter's bike, I take her to all the clubs. It's
Yeah.
just a lot, and I work. Like,
Yeah.
it is so long. I'd love a bit of help.
Yeah.
I'd love it.
It's a conversation amongst the men in particular that we need to have a lot more of
Yeah.
about what it means to actually be a man and take hold of your responsibilities.
Yeah.
Irrespective of whatever relationship you have with partner, ex-partner, because those responsibilities are effectively, they're yours until they're 18.
And it affects the
Yeah.
child. That's all it affects.
Yeah.
It happened
Yeah.
to me. My mum and dad divorced, and he got a new partner, new family, and left, and I didn't see him. And it gives you like issues, trust issues, growing up. It has definitely had an effect on me.
It's absolutely going to. And I think as well, seeing that all and having gone through that experience, that must have made it extra hard for you.
Yeah.
Because you'd be so aware of like the patterns that you've already seen happen and not repeating them.
I think it was mad for my dad, because my dad, what he'd done to my mum, like, and then he just kind of got on with his life, and his life got better. Then what happened to me? I think my dad seeing it to me, what he'd done, I think that was a bit of an eye opener for him. I bet you think he thought, whoa, actually, yeah. So karma does come in mad ways.
It does.
I mean, how do you deal with it, Priscilla? Where we talk about how hard it must be to only get X amount, but how do you deal with it where the X
is no
amount
amount.
is zero? Like,
No.
I don't ask for anything either. I believe in leaving people where they lie.
Yep.
I will never push you to do anything you don't want to organically do from your own heart. I just feel like my mum always said to me, like, leave sleeping dogs, let them lie. Don't aggravate and all
Amen
that.
to your mum.
Do you know what I mean? And so I was like, it's fine. It's going to be harder. But I'm happy to get free jobs. You know what I mean? I'm happy to do that stuff. Hence why I started my company in the first place and started writing books and things like that. I was like, I'll do something on the side that can generate that, I don't need that. That's ag for no reason.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
How beautiful your hair.
and what I think one of the things that is obviously hard when people separate on kids is the relationship kids have with those parents and how parents' relationships between themselves as adults can interfere with the relationship that kids have with their parents. But what a way of standing back and saying, do you know what? You are welcome to whatever relationship you want, and I'm building a relationship. And
Right.
when my child is older, they will have seen nothing but love, and they will make their own
And
choices.
he will grow up and haunt you, and you will die. Die. No, I just think it's fine. Do you know what I mean? And I want my son to live without bitterness as well. Don't have hatred in his heart.
Yeah.
And the only way for me to do that is to be the example and go,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Suck it up for
It's
him.
okay. It's okay.
Otherwise, it can live in your head, innit?
It
I've got
haunts
friends,
you.
and that she's so stuck in this. He doesn't give, and he's doing this, and he's doing that. Rah! And I just think, oh my God, I don't care what he's doing. I don't care. Mother, you give that little amount. Your number even saved in my phone. I don't care.
Do you know what I mean? I don't care.
Do you feel good doing that? It's cool. Your one will get his karma.
Do you know what I mean? And my son is the sweetest, kindest person because of it. You know what I mean? It took a lot, trust me. I had to talk to myself quite a while, you know, for a few good years. And I was like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. No, it's not okay. I deserve this. I shouldn't. No, what I deserve is to be happy. And chasing someone for something isn't happiness. So I'm just going to chase my own. Do you know what I mean?
It's where you spend your energy, right? At the end of the day, your energy is capital. And you can spend your energy chasing somebody that doesn't want to be engaged and doesn't want to be, and then you're then going to have little or less energy to focus on your main priority, which is your little soldier, and that's also part of it. That's where I kind of come from, the fact that I don't want my ex-partner to waste energy hounding me for stuff.
Imagine
when their energy should be focused on the fact that they are the primary carer, and granted, all right, I get every other weekend, and I get a little parental holiday twice a month, but you're dealing with the brunt of it all of the time, the ups and downs that I can't be there for. The last thing you then need to worry about is, do I have enough money for after school club? Do I have enough money for the heating, for the food? Because that shouldn't be an additional worry that should be added onto the Everest that is parenting as it is.
And I will be handing out tickets to the Sam fan club.
Yes.
yeah.
They will be available. T-shirts, we've got all the merch.
I heart Sam.
Same.
Gonna make me blush, guys.
Still asking him for his brother, but he's not giving it to me.